morning everyone. Slightly different video this week. I'm indoors. It's dry. And it's raining out there. But it's dry in here. I'll take that. Thanks for joining me again. As I said last week, if you watched last week's video, you'd know that I wasn't able to get out this weekend. Absolutely gutted because I love my at least bi-weekly detecting sessions. Thanks for joining me. This is going to be a roundup of my favourite finds from 2023. Those of you who know me will know that this is my first year in detecting. So I started around March this year. My first dig was with the Colchester Detecting Club. I borrowed a detector from someone who I met through Facebook, who trusted me to just lend me his detector. He didn't know me from Adam. A strange, trusting man whose name is Martin. He's also part of Colchester and Clacton clubs. Who really started off the whole obsession that that has become. Thanks for joining me. And let's just get cracking looking at the finds. There's about 20 of them in here. So what I'll do, I'll sort of show you them, talk about them, and then I'll film some close-ups on my phone, so hopefully you'll be able to see them. So let's get cracking. My little tub. Let me talk about this one first. So, hear it off camera. This is my first Crotal bell, and it's a ringer. Hey! I'm really, really happy with this. I found this on a dig with Dedham Vale Club, who again have been really, really welcoming to me since I started. I found it with the XP Days 2 that I borrowed from Marcus from Notch to 11. I almost didn't give it back, but I might get my own one soon. This came up. It was when people say, when you find your first Crotal bell, it will blow your ears off. That's literally what happened. I think it came up at like a sort of solid 92, 93. Just covered it from the clods, a whole Crotal bell. This little bit here's missing, but we don't worry about that. It makes a really nice noise. So we'll get some close-ups of it and let you see it. So here's the close-ups of the Crotal bell. Some nice maker's marks on the bottom. Unfortunately, it's cracked a little bit here, but it doesn't really affect it too much. And obviously the shank on the top is missing, but yeah, it's a pretty nice Crotal bell all the same. So, find number 2 is this. This is, I've been told, reliably, a Roman lock pin. Now, this one I found on the Joan Allen Heart of Kent rally, August Bank Holiday weekend. It was a largely unsuccessful weekend for a lot of people. There was a lot of land, but the finds were quite limited, unfortunately. This one I pulled off the main field. There was a main field there that was just massive. And there was a hoard of, I think it was about 49 in the end, Bronze Age axe heads were pulled up from the same field. So this sort of pales in comparison, but I do like it. Those Bronze Age axe heads, seeing them being pulled up from the field was probably one of the highlights of the year for me. Just like seeing them for the first time and all that time just coming up looking as sharp as they were the day that they were buried or lost or however they ended up in the field was amazing. Like, it just was the highlight of the weekend for sure, without question. But yeah, this little lock pin, I'm a fan. It's probably my favourite find of the weekend. I really like the patina age to it. So I'll get a little close up and you can have a look at that pin. It's a really nice little piece actually. It's got really nice patina on it. It's whole, so it's not broken or anything. It's it's a really nice little piece. And the highlight find of the weekend for me from the Joan Allen Heart of Kent rally. Okay, so I was going to save this to the end, but it's right on the top of the box. I might as well talk about it now. This is my little Roman fibula that I found last weekend. So everyone that's watched last week's video, you'll know that this is probably one of the best things that I've found. Found near Colchester. I haven't heard of any other Roman that came up on that dig, so I was massively, massively lucky to find it. I refused to believe what it was because my luck recently hasn't been the best, as anybody that's watched all the episodes will know. So I was in a bit of disbelief, refused to believe what it was. So yeah, it's I think I'm still in shock actually, to be honest. Just the privilege of holding something like that in your hand after all this time, I think is one of my favourite parts of this hobby. Like whoever lost that, rest assured, said the person that's found it appreciates it. Across all those years, yeah, it just blows my mind every time I look at it. To be honest, I'm going to play a little clip now from a game from Marcus at Notch to 11, who I showed it to when I found it, and it just shows how shocked I was because I just refused to believe it. So yeah, I'll play that clip and you can see my sort of shocked action disbelief, and then I'll show you some nice close-ups of it because there's actually some nice little enamel bits on it. So yeah, see you in a second.
Well, we had a very excited Jelly, the metal detective, come over. She said, please tell me this isn't what I think it is. Doubting herself, but I'm almost certain she's found herself a bit of a fibula, or pretty much all of a fibula actually. Yeah, it's got to be, absolutely got to be, Jelly, that, because you've got the unmistakable shape. I suspect that was where the spring was. Yeah, that's my gut feeling. I think she's on the Roman. Awesome. Congratulations. She's on the Roman.
And here it is. Here's the fibula. Sorry about this shaky phone. I don't have a tripod for my phone. I must sort of organise that at some point. Really nice little bits of enamel. You can see sort of at the end, sort of where my thumb is, little white and red bits of enamel. It's a really nice little piece. It's tiny. I think potentially due to its size, it would have been a child's fibula. But yeah, it's just pretty special, isn't it? Yeah. Moving on. Okay, so this one, it's a tiny little buckle. How well you can see that from there. A tiny, tiny little buckle. Now there's a bit of a story behind this one. Not so much to do with the find, but to do with what happened immediately before I found this. So this was found on my permission. One of the highlights of the year is the fact that I managed to obtain not only a permission near Colchester, but an absolutely massive permission near Colchester. I'm still massively, massively in awe of the size of this permission, and I'm so lucky that I have it. It's produced some really nice bits so far. But yeah, this little buckle, which is quite nice, was found in one of the one of the smaller fields that I've got. And the day that I was out, it was absolutely chucking it down with rain. It did not stop raining the whole time I was out there. It was dry when I got out the car, so sort of misleading. But yeah, I'm in this field, I'm detecting, and then all of a sudden the ground gives way underneath me and I end up sort of thigh deep in what I think was either a badger set or a hare warren. In the middle of a field, stuck up to my thighs. Thankfully had my spade on my shoulder, so I was able to sort of claw myself out. But yeah, it was a bit of a moment. I was covered in mud. This field was so soft, covered in mud, right up to the thighs. It got inside my trousers, my boots, because my trousers got pushed up with the soil. So yeah, was it worth it for a little buckle? I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, it was a fun story to tell. Many laughs from the people I've told it to. And I haven't been back to that field since. I'm going to wait till it's a bit drier, I think, before I go back to that field. Yeah, so I'll show you a little close-up of the buckle and then move on. This tiny little buckle, you can see how small it is. I don't know a huge amount about buckles, actually, so if you've any idea sort of what this would have come from or what its use would have been, potentially off a shoe, maybe. I don't know. Any ideas, please let me know in the comments. Thank you. Okay, so we've got 3 finds now. I find a lot of buttons, as you probably know. But in amongst the sort of plain, pewter, 4-hole, random buttons that we find, there are always some really nice military and livery buttons. So these 3, you won't be able to see the detail on this camera, but I'll show you. This is the London Yacht Club button. It's really, really nice. A lot of detail on it. This button, I did a lot of research on it because I wrote an article for Treasure Hunting magazine and it features in there. So this button was found on an estate in Sudbury, part of the Let's Go Digging, part of their permissions, and that land near Sudbury is is incredible. It produces gold constantly. It produces Roman. The land is insane. If you get a chance to join one of those digs at Sudbury, go for it. You will not regret it, I promise. But yeah, this button featured in the magazine. When I do the close up, I'll go into the details about it because off the top of my head, I can't remember the family that it was linked to. But this one's got a little stag on it. I'm not sure. I haven't done much research into it, but I just love the detail on it. It's really nice. It's sort of perfectly preserved with the little stag and all the little rope design around the side. But yeah, I'll show you a little close up of that one as well. 3 of my favourite buttons from the year. So here are the 3 nice buttons that I found. So this one that I forgot sort of the detail of when I was filming the main part of the video, this dates from about 1839 to 1852-ish, and it's linked to the Stedman family. That's a bit of research I did when I was writing the magazine article. Really like it. There's still remnants of the gold gilt on there that you can see, sort of quite nice in that shot there. They had links to Richard Lionheart, which is quite interesting when I was doing the research on them. So here's the Yacht Club button. Pick it up, a bit easier for you to see. Yeah, I found that on the there's a Colchester button page online, which is really good for these sort of military and livery buttons. But yeah, it's a really nice one actually. I haven't seen too many of those. And then this is the one that as yet is unidentified. I haven't done any research into it at all. So if you know anything about it, please let me know. It's a nice little button with the rope around the outside and the little stag on it. So yeah, really pleased when I found that. I can't actually remember where I found it. It's terrible, but yeah, it's a nice little button all the same. Moving on. Let's talk about coins. Not got a huge amount of them, but I'm going to talk about some coins. The close-ups, you won't see anything sort of from here, but the close-ups will show you everything you need to know. So this one I thought was just entirely blank, but it turns out it's actually a lot older than I thought it was going to be. It's something 1790-ish. I'll show you in the details and I'll talk a bit more about it then, but it just sort of shows, it taught me that I shouldn't dismiss anything before I sort of clean it up properly. It's a really nice coin, and we'll talk about it in the close-up. So here's this little coin. It's actually George II. It's a halfpenny. You can sort of just see his bust there and the Georges round the side. It's unfortunately, there's Britannia, obviously sort of facing to the left. You can't make out the date. I think it's 1720 something at the bottom. It's just too worn to make out. But yeah, I was really pleased with this coin. Because as I say, I thought it was totally blank, but spent some time cleaning it up, and there we go. It's actually got a bit of detail on it for its age. So this second one, it's not quite a coin, it's a coin weight. Really nice little coin weight. This one was actually featured in Treasure Hunting magazine as one of their finds. We'll go into a bit more detail in the close-up. But yeah, when I found it, I was really I was confused. I knew it was going to be something good because it had a little crown and it had some numbers on it. So it was some sort of gaming piece or something. But there was a couple more found quite close to where I found this. I think there was 3 or 4 found in the end. And yeah, it was the first time I'd ever found or even seen a coin weight actually. So required a little bit of research to find out what it was. But yeah, it's a really nice little find. It's really small, which it sort of impresses me how the detectives can find things that are so small. So yeah, I'll show you a close-up. We'll talk a bit more about it. Coin weight. It's a James I thistle crown coin weight. As you can see, a little thistle in the back. It's always nice as a Scottish person finding something with a thistle on it. Patriotic with a thistle. Yeah, sorry this camera's so shaky. My hands are not the steadiest. Yeah, and then on the back, there's the little crown. So this is, when I dug it, this is what I saw first. I saw the crown, I saw the little sort of numerals on it and thought, this is interesting. I think I found something here. Yeah, it's a really nice little coin weight. Okay, so this one is a nice little silver shilling. My first silver identifiable coin. And it's a little bunhead Victoria. So this was found actually in Scotland, the first time I'd ever detected in my home country of Scotland. It was a dig near a place called Torfichan, which is just up the road from where my parents live. And yeah, I was literally walking back to the car and got a nice little signal. I thought I'm going to dig that before I go back to the car. And yeah, lo and behold, a nice little bit of silver. And here we go, upside down, sorry. Here we go, here's the shilling. So 1881. And there's young Victoria, little bun head on the back. It's a shame that this wasn't me. It's a shame it's been clipped at the side, but yeah, all the same, it's a nice coin, nice detail, a really nice little silver. So this one is just a nice little farthing. I know we find a lot of farthings, but I think ones with any sort of detail on them are quite few and far between. This one was found again on my permission. It was quite a sort of unproductive day, but so this ended up actually being the best find of the day, this little farthing. I'll show you a close-up of it and we can talk about it a bit more. I'm really pleased with the detail on it. I know it's a little bit worn around the edges, but you see it's 1922. You see all of Britannia there. The patina is beautiful on it as well. I really like this green patina. I think it just makes everything look really nice. And there he is, George, on the back. Yeah, nice detail. I was really pleased with that find. So, here's another one. This is a blank, very blank silver coin. It was actually the very first silver coin that I found. Again, it's totally blank, but it's actually is or has been a love token because it's bent in the right places. And yeah, it was found on that first dig with the Equinox 700, so I was really impressed that it was able to find this. And yeah, it was. I had no idea what it was. I just thought it was just a little a little bit of metal. Actually, it was Ricky Skip from Hammered Metal Detecting UK who gave us a shout out last week. So getting you a shout out back, Ricky. Join his channel. He's just hit 1,000 subs. So yeah, well deserved, Ricky. Yeah, so it was him that confirmed that, yeah, this is what it is. It's a little silver love token. So I'll talk about it more in the close-up. Love token. The sort of thought was it was William III, but I guess it's really difficult to tell. You can see where it's been bent there at the sides as I sort of turn it round. Yeah, I was just pleased to have found my first bit of silver, really. It's unfortunate it doesn't have much detail on it, but yeah, there we are. So, moving on to the Roman. This is a nice little Roman coin that I found, again on my permission. I was a bit shocked when I found it, actually. I wasn't expecting to find a Roman coin. I wasn't expecting to find much that day, actually, because, yeah, I just hadn't had much luck. But yeah, I pulled this out and I was like, oh my god, it's Roman. So here's the little Roman. You can sort of just see on that side, a little bit of detail there. The little soldiers on the side. It's a shame that that side of the coin's not actually got a bit more detail on it, but this side is upside down, sorry. This side is pretty good. Sort of see the emperor there facing to the right hand side. As I say, it's Constantine II. I've been told. If I'm wrong, please let me know. Last but not least, this is my favourite find of the year, without a doubt, without question. Those of you who have read my article in Treasure Hunting magazine will know the story behind this coin. So this is a Roman silver denarius with Emperor Hadrian. I'm still in utter awe of this coin. It was definitely the highlight find for me. Again, it was found on that Sudbury estate. Definitely try to get yourselves on that Sudbury estate if you can. It was a beautiful summer's day. I had just helped someone dig a coin from a hole. I'd never had an identifiable coin. Never ever had a coin that you could see what it was. They'd all been blank, or they'd been crusted, or they'd been sort of just toasted beyond all recognition. And yeah, I just helped someone dig a really nice, it's just a pre-decimal, but loads of detail, beautiful patina. It was a lovely coin. We rescued that. He went on his way, thanked me for my help. And then, yeah, I walked about 4 or 5 metres across the field. I had a really nice signal. dug the signal, flipped over the clods, started pinpointing around in the hole, and my pinpointer started vibrating furiously, and I looked at the end of the pinpointer and Hadrian is staring back at me in the summer sunshine. It's just a moment that I'll never, ever, ever forget. It was amazing. Yeah, so I'll show you some close-ups of this coin. Unfortunately, it's broken, but I really didn't care. I still don't care. I love it. I love this coin, and it's definitely the highlight find from this year for me. Yeah, so I'll show you some close-ups and yeah. So here it is. Here is the silver denarius, my highlight find of the year. Just see there the sort of detail. Again, it's a shame that it's broken, but I don't really care, to be honest. And here he is. There's Hadrian. I love how it's actually just broken round the back of his head. See sort of that outline there at the back of his head. It's such a beautiful coin, and just seeing his face staring back at me, it was just a moment I will never, ever, ever forget. You can sort of see a bit more detail there. Again, sorry about this shaky camera. I will add it to the Christmas list to get some sort of tripod for my phone. Yeah, you can see that there. I'll put it down actually, maybe make it a little bit easier for you to see without so much shake. Yeah, there we go. Lovely coin. Really, really pleased I found it. And yeah, doesn't get much better than that, unless it was gold. Maybe when I'm doing next year's roundup, I'll be showing you something gold. Fingers crossed. So, that's me. That's my favourite finds of 2023. Thanks for joining me. No, it's not been the usual kind of video. I've not been in a field covered in mud, trying to find anything other than buttons. But yeah, I'm so glad that I found this hobby this year. It's been an awful year for me at work. Just loads of stress, loads of issues. And I think without detecting, I would have been in a pretty bad way, to be honest. The freedom of being out in the fields and just forgetting about everything has been exactly the antidote that I needed this year. It's just been great. I've met some amazing people, some great friends, that yeah, no doubt will be friends for life. I'm so, so grateful to everyone that I've met, everyone that's supported me, everyone that watches the channel. Yeah, I'm just so glad that I found this hobby. Yeah, so hopefully next week we'll be back out on the fields. Yes. Hopefully get to my permission this week, next week sometime. And yeah, I'll make another video and hopefully get another couple posted before Christmas. So yeah, thanks for joining me. This is the Metal Detective. I'm Jelly, and I'll see you next week. Bye.